Approximately 4 years ago, I put out a video called "This Drug is Currently Taking Over the Rap Game," in which I broke down what was at the time a burgeoning phenomenon in the rap game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Whippets.
You may have heard of Whippets, a drug abused sometimes using balloons and whipped cream containers, but now some people say the gas is far easier to get, and one doctor believes that access could be causing a crisis.
Sipping on this fucking syrup like it's Lipton. Bitch, hand me the gas, I need to smoke, hand me the whip it. In the door, his hands up like he Egyptian. Bitch, I pop his hand and grab the cake, can't leave a witness.
All of a sudden you started to see rappers just walking around posing with the canister, doing little dances with the canister on top of their head and shit like that.
After many refills of the balloon, Nos Tank decides to ice up.
Now I'm in a mad black scat pack and track hard. Twist the top off that bitch and eat it. Now I can't walk.
At the time, Whippets were becoming increasingly popular within hip-hop thanks to massive rappers like Gunna and Young Thug promoting them on their social media accounts. At that time, the popularity of this drug was somewhat constrained due to how cumbersome they were to consume. In order to partake in Whippets, it required the user to reload this here cracker over and over with these little tanks in order to continue to get fucked up. I personally once watched a rapper consume an entire box of cartridges during the recording of just one verse, which probably took around 40 minutes total. Now, just to be clear, this was not the only way to get high off nitrous. In fact, many people pointed out to me after the last video that Shoreline Mafia had been displaying a big-ass nitrous tank in some of their older videos where they were able to simply fill balloons with the nitrous and inhale it without any unnecessary steps. However, as many of you I'm sure now know, nitrous consumption has advanced dramatically over the last 4 years. I first became aware of this during my interview with Philadelphia rapper Skrilla, in which he repeatedly took Whippets throughout the interview and even convinced me to take one straight out of the tank myself.
I can't get on the moral high road though, because
You gotta hit it one time, bro, for the camera, bro. You gotta hit it one time, bro. You gotta hit it one time, bro. Just one time for the camera, bro.
What
You
do I
gotta
do?
hit it one time.
Just tilt it to the side or what?
Just twist it this way.
Are you gonna be offended if I rub this off?
Nah, for sure. I do every time when somebody else
I
hit
twist it and then just suck?
Like this. Don't know. Whoa. Did no diddy.
Pause.
No diddy. No diddy. No diddy.
Uh-oh.
We don't do no sucking, bro. All right, now you add a 22 now.
Yeah, I overdid it. I did it too fast. What the fuck?
You add him.
How the fuck am I letting him do this?
You add a 44 now.
See, my voice turning all crazy like you. I sound like Cardi.
Yeah.
What's going on? I'm gonna sound to opium with this voice.
You know what the fuck that shit is.
So everybody at home can kind of review my behavior right now. Okay, now I'm feeling it. All right, yeah, there you go.
The contraption Skrilla used during this clip is called a whip trip, according to my sources, and it's very similar to another brand of nitrous called Galaxy Gas that has become extremely popular over the last year or so. Technically, these devices are intended to be used to refill whipped cream chargers and to create foams and mousses for use in cocktails. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that almost nobody is using them for those purposes, and essentially everyone copping Galaxy Gas are buying it for one reason and one reason only: to get high. We were curious exactly where this stuff was being sold. Who was distributing it? Were they aware of who was purchasing it and what it was being used for? I sent my team out into the field to gather some information and report back to me. Now let's see what they were able to find.
Have you seen a recent rise in clients this summer?
No, actually, clientele's been a little bit slower because there's, there's all this competition coming up. So it's been it's been a little bit on the slow side.
There's been a lot of new shops popping up.
Yeah, new shops.
How many people do you think come in a day?
On a good day during the week would be anywhere from 50 to 60 customers. And then on the weekends, anywhere from, I would say 70 to 120. Obviously being 70 to slow, it would be a slow weekend day.
You've been marketing with a lot of local rappers. Is there any reason?
What's the deal? It's your boy Frost Chasing Bone. Happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. If y'all trying to celebrate with some high quality gas, come tap in. My people's over at Limitless.
Yo, what's the deal, man? It's your boy CNG. I'm right here posted up at Limitless.
Yeah, just to get my locations out there and get some exposure.
Does it surprise you how many shops have opened up recently?
It doesn't surprise me because, I mean, it's like any other business. It's like how many burger joints there is next to each other, how many Starbucks, coffee shops. So, we're trying to eat here. So it doesn't really surprise me because that's just the name of the business, name of the game.
It's a good one, okay? Be safe.
Now, the guy that my team interviewed for this piece was being a little bit evasive. He didn't really want to get into detail about exactly who was purchasing the product, but my team let me know that in the hour that they were there was about 22 different customers, and the vast majority of them, in their words, were young Mexican people who seemed like they like to get fucked up. Now we know a little bit more about how nitrous finds its way into the hands of consumers, and while the suppliers are in many ways insulated from its effects, I can't say the same. My good friend Oralyn, who I have affectionately referred to as Living Dead Girl in the past, came on the podcast a few months back and shared her heartbreaking story about her nitrous addiction.
I started sometime last year where it was just like once a weekend I would do like one tank. And then, I was like, well, this is fun. I don't like vaping. I don't like smoking. I don't like doing any of that. So, I mean, this kind of makes me feel like good, I guess. And I was doing one tank a day.
A tank sounds like a ton. How big is a tank?
So they actually upgraded the tanks now. You can get a bag. You can get a bag with your tank. And it comes with a handle. They're huge tanks now. They're like this big and like this tall. I would do one of those in 3 hours. Less than 3 hours.
I'll see people with those at parties, and it seems like that's for like the whole party.
No, and I would not share. And then I started doing 3 tanks a day, and then that came to 6 to 10 tanks.
What the f? Yeah. And how much does each tank cost?
Jesus Christ. I think I spent like $10,000 in a month.
What the f?
Yeah.
But despite Oralyn being so vocal about her experience with nitrous, that has not stopped the younger generation of hip-hop fans and drug enthusiasts from going all in on nitrous, something displayed in a recent interview with LA rapper Player Ways, who insisted on refilling his balloon over and over throughout the episode, rendering the conversation nearly unlistenable and nearly pushing the host, Brick Baby, over the edge.
It's fucking up the interview. It's fucking the interview up. Good.
I'm fucking the interview up?
Yeah, the sound. Y'all gotta stop doing that. Doing all that like, cuz on hood. You can drink, smoke, whatever, cuz, but on hood, when you at an interview, it's the crib, like, cuz, you gotta be, cuz then the motherfucker, only bullshit niggas gonna want to interview you. But when the iHeartRadio call, when iHeartRadio call, nigga, what they gonna do? They gonna tell you gotta use the tank outside. You can't smoke a cigarette. You can't smoke a blunt or nothing. Cause you gonna go in there and do that shit. You gonna go to Sway and do the same thing. And you gonna freestyle and do all that. You get what I'm saying? So a nigga just gonna teach you etiquette. Cause I'm your big bro. I got to. At this moment right here, I'm telling myself, you gotta stay under control because you're the host of the interview. If you blow it, it's gonna be ugly.
As we were recording this video, I had a realization. One of the No Jumper hosts, prolific former drug abuser Lush One, has been witnessing people use nitrous since the 90s and even dabbling in the stuff himself from time to time. As a result, we thought it would be good to get some historical context about nitrous's role in the overall party scene over the years.
First time I tried nitrous, I was probably like 12 years old. I just remember at that time in the early 90s, that was part of the party pack. You couldn't go anywhere in LA. Every single party had Nas tanks. $1 balloons if you cool, $2 if we don't know you. There's the tank is a part of the party pack. Forced to go into baking supply stores and run through the whipped cream aisle and get a can. I'm not trying to give you all ideas, but we hit in you just touch the Ready Whip real lightly so just the nitrous part come out. Then you suck on that pause, and then So we was doing that. We leaving pause the supermarket with faces full of cream damn near because we nozzing out, fool. Everyone that's done Nas will say the same thing. What Nas does to you is wom, 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 wom. It's literally it. It's almost like being in a K-hole. My worst Nas experience, I fished one time, which means I passed out. I was at this party on the west side and I hit a balloon, and the next thing I remember, all I saw was black. It was pitch black, and then just a light, and the light was just like moving, spinning closer and closer, and I was like, oh, I'm like having conscious thoughts. Like, I'm here, I know where I'm at, and I'm stuck here, and I need to get out of this realm wherever I'm at. Next thing I remember, like, I'm coming to, and my homie's like, hey, you at a party, you just fished on a Nas balloon, I caught your head 3 inches above the concrete. You were about to be kaput, player. The nitrous resurgence is crazy to me. Like, I was shocked to see it. Like, I thought that was like, the whole thing had been over, but I'm not really surprised because as many times as I've been to rehab, every single time, there's somebody there that was a Nas head. There's somebody that be on inhalants. If you go back to watch the show Intervention, the best episode ever was some girl that was addicted to inhalants. So it's always like been there. I think that it just, things come in cycles. It was a part of hood culture out here for a long time, especially like, with the essays, it was really cracking, and we're seeing it again. It's wild, but I think that people should get like better habits because a lot of people don't realize the way Nas really makes you act beyond just like the 2 or 3, that short amount of time where you're actually feeling the effects. It's impairing your thinking for the rest of the night, and fools ain't doing just one balloon. So yeah, be careful. Love y'all.
In addition to Lush, during the filming of this video, we also realized that popular LA rapper Conrad had experienced Nas addiction, but managed to pull away before becoming fully addicted.
Back like in 2020, I think it was 2020, 2021 or something like that. I used to go to this continuation school in Hawthorne, and I used to hang with these Mexican dudes, and we used to be off this fucking shit in the can, bro. I think it was like the same thing, but it was like some computer cleaner shit, I think. Before, I used to do whippets. I used to have the little cans. I used to throw them motherfuckers everywhere. I ran into some homies and shit that was doing the shit with the balloons. Whippets, though, when you keep doing them in a certain amount of time, like, it take you into I don't know, it shuts your body down. It feel like some sand, like you in sand, like it's sand all over your whole body. But something happens to my brain too at the same time. I be thinking to myself like I ain't even gonna lie, I low key learned some shit, bro. Like when I'm in that state of mind, I ain't gonna lie. Once you hit that certain point, it's low key scary. Like, you feel me? Like, it's low key once you hit that certain point of it, like it's low key scary. Like, so once I hit that shit, like, I was like, nigga, I ain't fucking with this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no type of how you want to function on. It's not functionable. Like, you know what I mean? It's like motherfuckers that did Sherman shit back in the days. Motherfuckers that did crack and shit. Like, I see like kids riding around and shit in the cars with balloons and shit like that. I ain't seen ain't no businessman doing that shit. Stop doing that shit.
But as we approached our deadline on this video, we ended up making contact with an even more disturbing cast of characters in this drug-fueled saga. They go by the Nas Girls. Although they have yet to become handicapped as a result of abusing nitrous like what happened to Orlin, these girls have taken nitrous consumption to a whole new level. We actually got a close-up look at one of the many hazards of using nitrous when one of the Nas Girls collapsed in our store and almost smashed her head on the ground, which is one of the many ways that you can die or become injured as a result of nitrous.
When did you start doing Nas?
Like in March. She didn't want a nausea with me. She wanted a nausea with someone else. And then she got put on with them. And I was like, really, bitch? You're not gonna nausea with me?
You're fake for that.
Literally. All of a sudden, you wanna hit the tanks now? Like, bitch, I was trying to hit the tanks with you.
This year in July. And ever since then, I was like hitting it back to back. Like when I went into my hometown, cause I would always see like people, someone in my hometown, they'll do the whippets though. I found out where they got it from. And then I seen they had tanks, and then ever since then I was getting a tank like back to back. Not just so good, but it's so expensive. And it was just like every day. And I remember one time, I was like talking to someone who would like send me the NOS, and I was like, oh, like, how long are the tanks are supposed to last? And they're like, you know, one tank like for a week and a half or so. And I was blowing that shit like more than a tank a fucking week. Like talking about like 4 tanks.
The ringing is what it hits. If you hear the ringing, you're nozzed out, and that's just the best. Don't be getting scared now. That's just the best. Before, when I was like in March, this nigga was buying it for me, like, you know, buying the bigger tanks, cause this is like medium size. He'll buy the bigger ones, and then right now, I'm currently going half with someone, so. So yeah.
What's the most you've spent on those?
Shit, like, well, cause me and my homegirl will go halves, so maybe like 400.
400 a night?
In like 3 days, yeah.
3 days type shit.
Like more than 100 for sure. But
one time I was nozzing it on the way to the bluffs, and I was hitting my balloon. And then I was like, oh shit, like, my homie was like, are you good? And I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, fuck, I was trying to put the car, like, I was trying to, like, reverse, and I couldn't reverse. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? And I seen a car, I thought I hit the car because I fucking nozzed the fuck out, I fell asleep. And a car pulled up, like, in front of me. I was like, fuck, did I hit it? And then they got out the car, but oh my God, thank God, they were so nice. They were trying to help me. I was like, can you, like, reverse the car? I was like, please don't put me on Kern County activities. Because in Bakersfield, we have, like, this thing where it's like, you record someone if they crash or they do anything, they fucking record you and they upload it to like an Instagram story. I was like, fuck, please don't put me on Kern County activities. Thank God they did not put me on Kern County activities. Thank God it wasn't like a bad crash. I never crashed to where like there was someone else, like I hit someone, but I have fell asleep like twice off of it. Yeah. To someone that's never done it, like the first, like, couple balloons when you try it. Well, the first couple balloons I hit when I tried it, I was like, oh shit. Like, it just makes you feel like so good. Like, I don't know, it just makes you feel good. Like, when I first tried it, I'd hit that shit so hard where it'd feel like, I swear to God, like a fucking bouncy ball in my fucking head. And I'll be like, what the fuck? And like, that kind of sucks though, because when you're like always hitting a balloon, they don't hit the same as when you first hit it. So I'm like, damn, like I just want to feel that feeling again, but.
In order to get a more in-depth look into the dangers of using nitrous, we actually sent our team to tap in with a doctor who works in an emergency room who has dealt with a lot of different patients who are suffering from injuries and health issues as a result of nitrous.
Hello, my name is Ralph Baca. I'm an emergency room physician here in Los Angeles. I've been working in emergency medicine for over 32 years. Heard of nitrous, first used for its medical purposes, what's commonly known as laughing gas, which is used essentially as a sedative to try to alleviate the anxiety with the procedure that may be done. It's used in emergency rooms, but I know historically it's been around for a long time. It first came to my attention when I first had a patient come in who was a young person, came in because they fainted. When they fainted, they got hurt. They had a head injury. And they came to our emergency room, found out from the patient they had been utilizing nitrous oxide. So nitrous oxide's effects in the body, when it's inhaled, cause what's called vasospasm. Vasospasm is where your blood vessels constrict. And when you constrict blood flow to any part of your body, you diminish the amount of oxygen that's being delivered to that tissue. Most sensitive to that is the brain. You decrease the oxygen level, and that's when people start experiencing the high. That happens pretty quick after utilizing nitrous oxide, but it's usually short-lived. It doesn't last very long. And that's why people apparently repeat using it over and over to maintain that effect. Every time they use it, of course, decreasing the blood flow to the brain, decreasing the oxygen to the brain. The canister ones that are used for food purposes, it's meant for that purpose. The concentration of the nitrous oxide, temperature-related problems that you can get from that. The medical grade nitrous oxide, although it's the same chemical, it's something that's controlled. You never come in touch with it. It's always delivered as a gas to you through medical equipment. If you get enough vasospasm or you have enough decreased oxygen delivery to tissues, you hurt it. And the brain is super sensitive to things like that. When the brain is not receiving oxygen, it can hurt the nervous system. And it can hurt many things. The brain is involved with many things, our hearing, our vision. There's long-term side effects of the use of nitrous oxide have been linked to psychosis, depression, vision changes, memory loss, ringing in the ears that are long-term. The effect of this is very short-lived. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have long-term consequences as a result of using it. It's been associated with arrhythmias, where your heart starts beating irregularly and people faint. People faint and they get hurt from the faint. Combining nitrous oxide with other recreational drugs, or even something like alcohol that's legal. The effects of one drug can combine and make a greater sort of effect. Let's take cocaine, for instance. If you're taking one substance that can cause your heart to race, and you take something else that can do the same thing, while you make that effect much more likely to happen. When you start combining these recreational drugs, you'll find yourself increasing the probability of you having a serious side effect.
All right, so that's the video. It's the first time we ever made a documentary type feature like this, so let us know what you think. Shout out to my boy, Michael. He did a lot of hard work on this, a lot of time out in the field, so let us know what you think. Don't do NOS. Over and out.
NOS, it's like a head high, but you can get stuck off of it. Like, it'll with your brain, but like that shit'll just keep you stuck, nigga. That shit'll fuck with your head. But like, if you're doing it stupid and you don't know how to do it, don't do NOS, you know. But like, if you can handle it and you could do your due diligence and handles, you know. But like, if you're getting stuck and you're acting stupid, don't be doing NOS, nigga. You end up doing some dumb shit real quick.